Et c'est reparti pour le deuxième épisode. Salut à tous, c'est Yrfan. Et on avance, on perd pas de temps. Hop.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Ouais, je m'en fous.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week.
Ah bon?
Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Pouf. Ouh. Night Shark 1 machin.
Stanley spoke the code.
Ferme-la.
Night Shark 115.
Ouais, j'ai un micro, mais normalement j'en ai pas, ta gueule.
Right there on the wall.
Ah, oh. Ah non. Ah, mais ça c'était une bibliothèque cachée.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Bah oui, connard.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver.
Je peux pas.
Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Je peux pas. Allez, parle.
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Ah merde, il est rebugué.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
What?
he entered the door on his left.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
What?
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Mais non, pas
I need you
Yin.
to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Mais non,
Can
je
you
crois
hear
pas.
me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce jeu de malade?
I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
Ah, j'aurais dû faire ça, tiens.
Anything.
Restez là.
This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay.
Il est en train de se pendre.
You need time to decide.
Please
Time to
do
make sure
something.
your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
D'accord. C'est quand tu veux. Oh. Non mais non mais non. Ah, je me disais aussi. Qu'est-ce que... Oh putain, on reprend de là. Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ce jeu? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Mais que...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
What?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mais c'est quoi ce jeu de ouf? Oula, ouais non, ferme pas la porte sur la tronche. Bon. On va retourner vite dans la salle.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
je ne bouge pas,
he
ok?
entered the door on his left.
Je ne bouge pas. Je ne bouge pas. Est-ce qu'il veut bader pareil? Je ne bouge pas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ok, t'as gagné, je bouge. Et je vais dans la droite.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Oh non,
well.
oh non.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Oh non,
it.
mais... oh non, mais dites pas qu'il veut faire ça.
Yes, this room.
Ta gueule.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ouais, non, là, franchement, je vais la prendre. Hop là.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh putain, je sais pas. Est-ce que ça veut dire que si à chaque fois qu'on ne suit pas les ordres, on découvre de nouvelles fins entre guillemets? Genre là? Mais merde. Ah non 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 non. Attends, mais ça, je la connais cette salle.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Bah oui.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Si je vais en bas,
Coming
c'est
to
quoi?
a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hop là. Ah mais je suis sûr que c'est prévu. J'en sais rien, j'en sais rien. Oh,
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Bah ouais.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did
parce que
doors
c'est un jeu.
close automatically behind him
Connard.
wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
C'est
Were they
génial.
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Ferme-la.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Non.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
J'irai pas, bon.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Whoa.
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Ah, ce jeu
How was he
drogué.
remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts,
Tout à fait.
he thought. And while he thought it all very odd,
Ferme ta gueule.
if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right
Oh, mais
now
il s'arrête pas en
as he's
plus.
ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this
Oh,
was a
c'est ouf.
dream. So he closed his eyes gently,
Bah,
and he
non.
invited himself to
Non,
wake
non,
up.
non.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside
Je vais
this
me
one.
retrouver dans le bureau, je sais pas pourquoi.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job, All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Mais non, puisque t'es le créateur du jeu.
I am okay.
Ta gueule. Ta gueule, laisse-moi jouer. Eh ben non.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Hop, 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 hop. Mais c'était encore une mauvaise fin.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Wow.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ah. C'était une autre fin? Putain, ouais, en plus. En fait, c'est un jeu où t'as que des fins. C'est ça? Ah! Y'a pas de fin! Si.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Je
it
suis sûr
mean?
qu'il y en a une.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Je suis sûr qu'il y en a une.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ça a fait quoi la dernière fois? Et je dis oh c'est pas bien, non, je sais plus. Je me souviens
This
pas.
was not the correct way to the
Ah non, il
meeting
m'avait
room,
niqué,
and
justement.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
Alors
by
dans ce
the
cas-là,
employee
je vais
lounge
faire ça.
first, just to admire it.
J'ai passé par le
The lounge was sublime,
Ah, je sais
a
plus.
work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Là-bas, il y avait quoi comme choix déjà? Je sais plus. Je sais plus, tant pis. On va aller là.
And so he detoured through the maintenance
Allez
section,
hop.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ah mais c'est justement par là qu'il me disait de pas aller. Je sais plus. Ah ouh. Another loading? What the fuck? Aïe.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office.
Voilà.
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Non. Je suis pas d'accord. En fait si, je suis d'accord.
Oh, no,
Hop, hop, hop.
no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Mais Taras, je veux aller là moi maintenant. Ah.
No, no, not the
Tu
right.
casses les couilles.
Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh. T'es vraiment un connard de narrateur. Hein.
Now, let's see. We went down right, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ok. Oh là. Il va mourir dessus. Hop là, esquive. Non. Coucou. Il peut pas rentrer dans la caisse, on peut pas lui sauter dessus. Les textures sont dégueulasses. Ah le jeu il est fait avec la bite ou j'en sais rien mais c'est ignoble. Mais c'est pas grave. C'est pas fait pour... Waouh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
virer.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Non.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Ah, c'est génial. J'aime bien. J'aime bien, mais c'est faut refaire de nombreuses fois les mêmes choses. Ah putain. J'ai pas regardé l'heure, tiens. Et par contre, en vrai, j'ai regardé l'heure et c'est la fin du deuxième épisode. Je suis magnifique. Je vous dis à très bientôt. Ce jeu commence à me plaire. S'il est complètement barré. Bah écoutez, je vous laisse. Je vous dis bonne soirée ou bonne journée, ça dépend quand vous regardez cette vidéo. Et à bientôt pour le troisième épisode. Ciao.